Hi, hello, and welcome. I am definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me pug my way to 2.8k rating on a Guardian Druid in Dragonflight Season 2. This episode, I have no witty comment about the black bar on the screen, and more importantly, we're doing a Halls of Infusion 20 on Fortified, so let's just jump right into that. It is so nice to just teleport there using the portal. I keep forgetting I have these, so I have been flying to some of the dungeons, but I remembered now, so it's nice. Oh, and yes, I am 444 item level. I did recraft that ring that I mentioned from the last episode at the ending. I think this character is actually now a higher item level than my main character on my main account. It's amazing what you can do when you're actually having fun playing the game. And here we go with the Halls of Infusion 20. I'm not actually sure what killed the warrior. Ooh, the warrior didn't see the hop, but that happens to me as well when I'm DPSing. The warrior is tired of running back, so he's just waiting for a res. Why are we CRing in the middle of this? This is not like a dangerous pull or anything, so I'm not a big fan of this CR, but we'll make it work. We don't have battle reses for the warrior. I don't know. This warrior keeps dying, and I really can't tell you why. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Let's just try it. I'm not very optimistic, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna heal the warrior before he dies yet again. I don't know. I think I'm gonna call it quits here. Anyway, I'm gonna go do my 19 and hopefully we can time it. So we 2-starred the Halls of Infusion, and now we have a 21 Vortex Pinnacle. I'm going to drop it to a 20, and we're going to try and do that. There's not much room to get creative with a Vortex Pinnacle route. On Fortified, you really want to skip the dragon. And skipping a dragon means you have to kill literally everything else in the dungeon, because there's really not many things you can actually skip. So points of interest in the dungeon, I believe, are basically this pull here, where you're pulling the 2 Empyrean Assassins along with the Turbulent Squalls. Ideally, you would have these guys on this peak of their patrol, because you can see it goes all the way over there. That's where we want to grab them. If we have to drag them further to grab them, that's going to be a bit annoying, but we'll make it work. I could also ask one of the DPS to just go pull those really quick if they can. Then we do the dragon, and after that we do the 2 other assassins into the next pull. There's an alternative to doing this, and that is to not pull the assassins with anything. Basically to have a pull where you just pull the 2 assassins, or the 4 assassins I should say. What you do then to do that is you kill these 8, then you go up here, you pull these, and you go around on the lip of the platform that the dragon's on. That way you don't aggro the dragon. You can get over here and you can reach these 2, and then you fight those 4 on their own, and then you fight the dragon, and then you go into pull 10. But it's risky because a lot of people just ignore this and body pull, and they position in such a way like you'll be standing over here and somebody's going to be standing like over here far away because they're ranged and don't give a shit. Then one of these guys is going to jump to them, walk past the dragon, and pull the dragon. That's happened to me more times than I'd like to admit. That happens on a 20 fortified key. We're most likely dead. The amount of damage that Icy Buffet does is stupid. You can survive it, but then if you have an assassin backstab you after that while you're low, well, I mean, goodbye. Anyway, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to really point out in this run other than the bloodlust spots. Ideally, I would bloodlust either the first pull or the pull number 4. Pull number 4 is a pain in the ass because there's 2 gust soldiers. So there's 2 dispels that need to happen from their rushing wind. The debuff that they put on you, it's a magic debuff, so only healers can dispel it, or priests with their mass dispel. We're clearly saving mass dispel for removing all the bursting after we kill the group. So it's a bit rough on the healer to keep everything alive. So pull 1 and pull 4 are bloodlust spots, and I would love to bloodlust a dragon. If we don't have it up, I'm going to use bloodlust on the second boss, and then for this pull I would also like a bloodlust because these guys really hurt. The executors, their crashing stone just does so much damage, it's ridiculous, and if you let them get a rally off, especially the first 2 rallies, it's just going to make them super painful to deal with. Anyway, that's Vortex Pinnacle, and we're going to try and time it now. Okay, here we go with a Vortex Pinnacle 20. We don't have a Shadow Priest or a regular Priest. I mean, we don't have a Priest is what I'm trying to say. So things might get dicey with the bursting at some point. I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem, but we should be able to clear this. Make sure I kick the Wind Bolts, and I'll use Incapacitating Roar if I need to for the other cast. We are looking to retain aggro here to use my next stack of Incarnation. We have a Solar Beam going down, very nice. It's always nice to see someone who knows how to use that on a balanced druid. I very rarely see them, even though they're a minute cooldown, because in general people just don't like to kick. We're safe from bursting on this pull. I'm not worried at all about this pull and bursting because there's just the enemies die so slowly, even these guys just get whittled down. We're gonna try and do A bit of a different pull than I usually do. We're going to have one of the DPS go out and pull 2 assassins on the first dragon. But before the first dragon. So for the squalls, we're going to have a DPS go and grab the 2 assassins next to the dragon. Ooh, that paladin got yeeted up into the air by the knockup. He was slacking. He got caught slacking. Okay. That was agonizingly slow because we wanted a Bloodlust on pull number 4. Just double dipped into that, whatchamacallit, Stampeding Roar. Both the other druid and I used it. Not used to having a second druid in the group, so that's probably why. We're going to take these pulls nice and easy. There's no reason to rush it with these pulls. Incapacitating Roar here. We had an upheaval. We do have an Augment Evoker, which is going to be very nice. I'm going to knock that back. I don't want to have to deal with Cyclone going off on a group member. We have another Solar Beam coming down. That's going to keep them nice and quiet. You guys are going to shut up. And you're not going to cast anything. Okay, we have these. We have another upheaval coming through. We have our Infer Aura letting us know that we're slacking. Got caught sleeping on the Iron Fur. Okay, we're going to mobilize the Wild Vortex. Comes a Bark Skin. Gonna try and incapacitating roar the other Gust Soldier right now. There we go. That's gonna be very nice for the healer. Interrupt that Cyclone. We have an upheavals coming in to interrupt. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna try and knock back the next Rushing Wind. I didn't manage to do it. It's such a short cast. It's really hard to do. I tried to knock that one back, but he was already flying, so I couldn't. Did get a proc of what's it called? Heart of the Wild, or not Heart of the Wild. Damn it, I keep calling it Heart of the Wild instead of, what is that thing called? After the Wildfire. Jesus. Brain's having a meltdown because I'm trying to commentate and play the game at the same time. Okay, this is where we want our Bloodlust, so we're going to pop Bloodlust here. Very nice. Very good. Pressurized thingy thing coming down. We're going to interrupt one of those. Nice, we got interrupts going in. We're going to use, ooh, that upheaval is massive. We got one of those. Incapacitating Roar kind of overlapped with our whatchamacallit Solar Beam, but that's fine. This is a beautiful pull. This is a very hard pull in general, but when you Bloodlust it and you have a group that actually knows how to CC things and use their interrupts, it's beautiful, dude. Oh, I love playing with groups that know what's up. It makes such a difference when you have people who kind of casually play and people who actually really want to get good. Oh, it's amazing. But you got to learn at some point, so all of these guys played the same way that all those casual players play at some point. Did not use my interrupt there. I'm going to use it on this Cyclone. We overlapped it. Doesn't matter too much. I'm going to drop a thingy thing here. And we're going to knock back. Oh, I failed my knockback and I don't have a kick for that. I don't know why I couldn't. I think they were rooted by the Evoker, but it's fine. We got a knockback from the Evoker. The Evoker is just kicking ass on the CC. It's amazing how much the CC these guys can pump out. Look at that. Knockbacks from him as from his racial, then a knock up from his racial, then a knock back from his racial, then a fucking knock up from his glass thing, from upheaval. It's ridiculous, man. That's so much CC. And it's not a long cooldown either. Okay. We saved our we have our, sorry, I didn't save it. I have Nature's Vigil for this pull here. Just gotta make sure that thingy thing doesn't snipe us from the back. I was slacking on it for a second. We have Turbulence coming down, so we're going to use our Nature's Vigil here. I'm going to use Incarnation as soon as it's up. This pull is actually harder than some bosses in the game. Not as hard as the dragons, but it's still pretty rough. Okay, after the Wildfire proc there, I believe, helping out with some healing, along with our Nature's Vigil also helping out with some healing. We're going to have another Wildfire coming through here. I'm actually going to hold it. I'm not going to use any Rage until one of them starts casting Turbulence. There it is. We're going to wait for people to get nice and low, like that, and then we're going to use it. That we get most value out of it. We suffered a bit to get to that point, but we managed to help the group a lot more with that. Okay. I'm just gonna get one of these procs again by dealing some damage to the Lurking Tempest just to get Rage. Okay. Combat's a bit weird here, so my WeakAuras is spazzing out. seem to be good to go for this pull. Let's get going. So far, this group looks like they're going to easily time this dungeon. I am very happy about that because I did not have fun in my Halls of Infusion run. We're going to kick that. Very nice. People are kicking. That's beautiful to see. I don't really care about being meleeed here. I really don't. Like, it doesn't bother me. The damage is non-existent. It's a fortified key, and it's just this boss really doesn't do much melee damage. It's more about the lightning bolts. Our healer's going down really low. He bubbled, so he should be safe for a while here. That's good. Gonna use our group AoE heal. Try to do some damage to get everyone topped off. We're gonna interrupt that. I'm gonna try not to interrupt the boss when it's targeting me with lightning bolt. I should only really use it for when it's targeting other people. Because I don't care if I take damage, right? It's negligible for me. I'm gonna kick that. We have both the paladins slacking on the heals, or sorry, not the heals, the what am I trying to say? Interrupts. We have 11 million health left on the boss, so we're going to go ahead and try and see who has the least health, and we're going to try and spend some rage near them so that we heal them. Okay, and we're going to use Incarnation and Heart of the Wild. I'm struggling with my ability names. It's really late in the evening. It's almost 1:30 a.m. I'm just trying to get a 20 so I can get another video out. I'm committed to it. I want to speed run the 20s for Fortified, and just so I can get to the thing with the stuffy stuff. So I can get the challenge done this week, because we're very close, as you can see from my rating. I'm missing 74 rating, and that'll be done very, very quickly. I have just these few to go, 5 more dungeons, including this one. Okay, this is where we have Tarmac do his thing. Tarmac is our other druid. We're going to have him pull these to us. Okay. Could be good here. I need to grab aggro off him. That was something I was slacking on. He pulled through though. We have a lot of stuns coming down on this. We're going to use our Nature's Vigil here. We gotta make sure we use our AoE CC. I believe the Evoker is going to be blasting it with the AoE CC here, so we should be fine. We have so much CC for these guys. I'm not worried about a single cast going through. Just gotta make sure we stay nice and healthy here for the group. Going to get Tarmac out. The assassins are kicking our ass. I think Tarmac got hit by 2 of those. Trying to res him. I'm going to survival instincts here. I'm to drop this down so that when these guys jump away from the circle, they get pulled back immediately. That might prevent them from meleeing. I'm not sure if that's the case. This is a rough pull, but we're so far pulling through. I don't know if the Squalls ever recast, but I don't think they can recast when they're getting CC'd to shit. I'm trying to interrupt that. That's unfortunate. I wasn't able to get it. Trying to also soak all these tornadoes so my melee DPS doesn't have to deal with that. 6 stacks of bursting here. We did wait on the DPS so that we only have 2 other stacks. The beast of a healer that the paladin is, he managed to get us through this. That was well played. We got a combat res in there, but I don't mind using a combat res for one of the rougher pulls in this dungeon because we don't have a shadow priest or well, any type of priest to mass dispel the bursting. I'm going to use Incarnation here. This is a really nasty pull. We're all going to stand in here. We're going to go side to side. So you want to stand right here in the corner. So if he does a breath, you don't have to worry about him doing the breath down the middle, so that you always have one side to stand in and stay in the well. We're trying to do damage because we used our Nature's Vigil. He should be releasing. Release, skip. Should be releasing and grabbing the skip. It's faster than waiting for him to run back for it, or waiting for him to get rezzed after the run. And this should die now. We get out of combat and the debuff goes away. Okay, Tarmac is almost back. Yeah, there he is over there. Now we grab these guys. They are. Gonna wait for their damage to go through, like their little jumps. They're gonna recover from that. And then we'll grab the next group. Okay, that's both of them. I used incapacitating roar for nothing there, but no big deal. You still have so much CC in the group, it's not even funny. I have my knockback available for when I see multiple casts, but this Evoker's bullying these mobs, dude. They can't do anything. Okay, we still don't need the knockback. Fascinating roar. This group is just CCing the ever-living crap out of these guys. There's another knockback. I can just sit back and relax, dude. They're not gonna cast shit. This group's not gonna let them. I'm gonna knock back these. They're gonna get spread out a bit. I don't mind that. Okay, we have one stack coming in. Another stack's probably gonna follow it up. No, we didn't overlap them. That is going to die before it casts. I'm going to interrupt this so the cast doesn't go through. That wind bolt would have been very painful. There's going to be multiple stacks going off here. 2 stacks. We're not going to be able to kill this before the debuff falls off, so we're safe. I'm being very cognizant of the number of stacks that we're dealing with because I do not want to die to bursting for not having a Shadow Priest. Or a Priest. I keep saying Shadow Priest, but yeah, that's basically what you want to take since we have these. Okay. A little blip, WeakAuras telling me. Ooh, I thought for a second that I moonfired the freaking dragon. Ooh, I was so fucking worried for a second there, man. I can't tell you. Interrupt that, we don't need them to take less damage. Get knocked up by those. Okay, I'm gonna try and stand in that circle, get a bit of extra healing, why not? Trying to finish these guys off. People are holding cooldowns, it seems. No, they're just still recovering cooldowns. This is perfect. We're going to recover cooldowns and then we'll do the other big pull. We have 4 stacks. I'm going to try and help some off healing here. Like so. There we go. Give people movement speed and we'll grab this group. This is another big pull. We're skipping this dragon, so we have to kill literally every other enemy in the dungeon. I'm going to use my incarnation here and go to town, start stacking iron fur, nice and heavy on the iron fur stack. So all these guys are doing melee or physical damage with their melee attacks. So I'm going to stand right in the top of those two so that we can keep soaking the tornadoes for our group. I don't want my melee to have to deal with tornadoes. A stack right there. Soak those tornadoes. There's a knock up on the cloud bursts. We're good. I wasn't even worried for a second because I know these guys are good about their CC. I'm going to use my AoE heal. Nature's Vigil. Trying to keep iron fur stacks up. This is such a beautiful run, man. I'm having such a good time. You can tell because I can actually commentate. I don't have to worry and stress about interrupting everything because my group's not interrupting. These guys are just kicking ass big time. Okay. Anyone who wants to can hop on to mount form. There we go. He figured it out. Nice. Let's go, dude. Yeehaw, partner. Okay, let's rebuff for no reason and get started. Ali's drinking. Saw him sit down to drink. Can get a good 10%, 20% mana in. We're going to stand in, it can go across this way and across this way. So we're going to stand in the crisscross of that. So that way if the wind moves to blow from our right, we don't have to move at all. I'll keep my iron fur up. Wind's going to move. It's going to move to the other side, but that's no big deal. Let me jump up. There we go. Everyone's going to take some damage. It's fortified here, so I'm not too worried about it. My blip's letting me know that I need to reapply iron fur. My iron fur up. At least 1 stack. 1 stack makes a big difference. It's 7% less damage constantly. 2 stacks is ideal. It's the best, most efficient use of your rage is 2 stacks of iron fur. Because the diminishing returns start setting in pretty quick with iron fur because you're getting so much armor. So you really don't want more than 2. We have an incarnation rolling. We're going to pop our Nature's Vigil here because the group's going to start taking damage. Going to pop one of my frenzied regions here as well. Just keep dealing damage so that I can heal the group. Don't need to move much for the breath, so we're just going to move a little bit, stay in this corner. So far I haven't been able to showcase the minimal movement tech that I have here, which is when the wind changes from one direction to another that I don't have to move. Hopefully here we get to showcase it at least once. I really like doing that. Nope, the boss is intent on us not being able to use that, so it's a bit rough. Right as I reapplied, right before I reapplied iron fur, it started blipping at me. I'm gonna use it right here. Hoppity skippity. There we go. Move over to this side. Nice and easy. It just doesn't let me utilize that little tech, but it's no big deal. It's just a bit of movement anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Keep that iron for up. I had to scratch my leg, so I almost missed my iron for reapplication. And that's the boss dead. This group is just kicking ass. A very smooth run. The DPS is decent considering it's fortified. People are doing 100k with an evoker or augment evoker on a fortified. I'm okay with that. It's not amazing, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna use Nature's Vigil here. Gonna look at the Executor. I really want to interrupt that rally. I'm gonna incapacitating roar one of those holy smites. Gonna interrupt the rally. Gonna soak one of these tornadoes so my melee doesn't have to deal with it. There's the solar beam. Again, soaking the tornadoes so my melee don't have to deal with it. Gonna save my Ursol's Vortex here. Use one of my Frenzied Region charges because the tornadoes are doing quite a bit of damage here. I just want to make sure I soak the tornadoes. I'm gonna move a little bit rather than soak all these tornadoes. Don't think it's necessary to soak 3 of them. Kick that rally. What the rally does is increases his health, current health by 50%. So let's say he has 100k health. When he uses it, he has 150k health. I just want you to jump on my back. Jump on my back, dude. Jump on my back. Like you did before the second boss. Hippity hoppity. Come on, buddy. You can figure it out. I believe. Click. Me. Jesus Christ. That's rough, dude. Come on. Oh boy, that really, I don't know why that upsets me so much. Okay, let's get started with this pull. We're gonna Incarnation here. Keep that Iron Fur rolling. We got 12 minutes to do the rest of the trash and the last boss. I believe we can do it. Might be a bit tight, it feels like, but I think we can do it. We have a lot of CC for this. We have an interrupt. We have the solar beam coming down. This Tarmac, if you're watching this video, man, you're kicking ass big time. Those solar beams, I am moist. Very moist. I'm moister than an oyster, let me tell you. And now that I'm done gushing about Tarmac's interrupts, we're going to scratch our heads as to what happened to our paladin. We shouldn't have to battle res that, but I'm okay with it. We'll battle res. We have one available in a minute 35. Hopefully we won't need it for the actual hard pulls. He only had a Minister of Air left. We could have let him run back or just, you know, res them regularly after killing it, but hopefully it doesn't bite us in the ass. We're going to give everyone movement speed. And we're gonna go and do the stars. We gotta do the stars. Everybody get ready to do the stars. Are you ready to do the stars? The stars are starting now. We're gonna not put Ursol's Vortex down and try to group up at least 4 of these stars. They were very spread out to begin with. We're gonna use Nature's Vigil here, try and help out with the healing a little bit. I'm not helping much, but it's more than nothing. Single target is all that helps with Nature's Vigil, so I'm using actual single target abilities here. Just to try and transfer some of that damage into healing for my group. Because this is actually pretty hard to heal. Maybe not so much for a paladin, but for like an evoker or something, this is a nightmare to heal. I'm going to survival instincts here because I'm going to take a shit ton of damage right off the bat. 2 holy smites coming out. Hopefully both of them don't hit the same target. I'm going to interrupt those holy smites. I'm going to knock back this and interrupt this. The holy smites need to get kicked. People are slacking on the kicks. They're trying to kick the heals instead of that. I don't have a kick for that. Need to kick those, guys. Don't slack on the kicks here. You really need those kicks to happen on the smites. The heal isn't the only thing that needs to be kicked here. Okay. Very nice. Interrupt that. Okay, we have a solar beam down. The next group, there's nothing we can kick. There's only the executors that we can kick, so we're going to, once this is dead, we're going to stop for just a second so I can mark this guy with a skull. Kick rallies. I take skull, kick, focus skull. This group is really rough, so we're just going to try and burn them down really quick. Or burn down the skull really quick. With kicks, we're going to use AoE heals here for the group. I kick that. Hopefully somebody kicks the other one. Okay, there we go. Skull is being burned down pretty well. Gonna drop an Ursol's Vortex so these guys, when they jump, they don't actually go onto anyone. Got another Frenzied regen in while we had our thingy thing going through. Okay, people are cleaving pretty well. Okay, we got a kick on that. That's beautiful. Thank you. I'll kick this one like I said I would. It's interesting that the Skull guy is not the first one to go down. This is gonna really hurt. Hopefully people survive through it. Use some self-heals. Come on now. There we go. Very nice. 4 of them died at nearly the same time, and it's a rough group to begin with, so we did well here. We were planning on having Bloodlust here, but we were moving at a weird pace through the dungeons, so we didn't have Bloodlust here. Maybe I should have changed the spot for the second Bloodlust when we saw what was happening, but I think I reacted to that too late. This guy's kind of taking his time running around the scenic route. Hop on my back. Hop on my back. Click me. There we go. You figured it out, dude. It only took you, you know, me telling you again. There we go. You don't have to take fall damage here. Very good. We're going to charge in. Actually, we're not going to charge in. We're going to drop this, and we're going to knock them back. That'll group all of them up. We're going to use our AoE heal. Nature's Vigil, trying to get some rage so we can maul, so we can do some healing. The reason I say maul to heal, because single target damage needs to happen for you to be able to heal with, whatchamacallits, with Nature's Vigil. So AoE doesn't really do much. You can't thrash and raise your way through. There we go. We're on the last boss with 7 minutes left. This is looking like an easy time. I don't know why I was worried. I guess I thought it took much longer to do this trash before last boss after second boss. Move away from this guy. Make sure we do our Iron Fur. Move to the ad. This is super easy mode because it's fortified, so if we can do it on Tyrannical, we can do it on fortified. Oh, excuse me, I had a bit of a hiccup there. Someone's slacking, Tarmac slacking on the jumpy jump. Okay, when it's 2 seconds, I will do this. Whoop. Who needs a life grip when you can just jump like that? So what I did there was I shifted out of bear form into human form, and I used my wild charge to charge at a friendly player. A friendly player? Yeah, a friendly, an ally, obviously. That way I can stay on the boss for a bit longer, get a bit more damage in. Oh, hello, thank you for spawning that right on top of me. Slacking on my Iron Fur again. Jump. Oof, right on top of us. There we go. We got out of range quick enough. On the next ad, I'm going to use my Nature's Vigil. We're going to try and help heal. That Iron Fur, where is the ad? The ad's on the other side of the room. We're going to do single target DPS here. Ooh, don't bring that on top of me, buddy. There we go. Keep that single target up. Try and help with heals. Ooh, jumpy jump. There we go. Very nice. We got the jump. Oh, he's going to put it right on top of himself. That's perfect. I love it when he does that. Then I don't have to do any bullshit jump tech. I can just sit there and beat the shit out of him. I love it. Very nice. 8 million health left. Looking easy. Bloodlust usage was a bit iffy this run. It was my call to use it on the pulls that I said we should use them on. Probably should have used the second Bloodlust sooner than the second boss. Not sure if that would have made a difference or not, but it is what it is. Get that jump out. There we go. Very nice. And beat the shit out of the boss. We have another Bloodlust coming in now. That's fine. And the boss is dead, and that's our 20 Vortex Pinnacle. Very nice. Let's see if we get another trinket. I said I would lose my shit. Imagine if that was the trinket. I said I would lose my shit if I got another trinket on the 20 Fortified. Luckily I didn't. Okay, so we just had a really, really great Vortex Pinnacle run, but let's start at the beginning. So we started today's episode off with a Halls of Infusion 20. That didn't really work out. I'm not sure what the issue was. Maybe I was over pulling, maybe the DPS was too low, maybe the healing was too low, maybe just people were unaware of what they needed to do. But there were quite a few issues in that run, starting with kicks, ending with just not surviving pretty much every pull. There was a warrior in the group that just kept dying over and over again. I'm not sure if he wasn't receiving adequate healing, or if he just stood in shit. I really don't know, but that run was destined to fail. After the second boss, we barely survived the first dragon. Then I tried to do the second dragon. We just wiped on that, and I think that's when I knew that the key was basically dead. So I left the group, and we had a 19 Halls of Infusion to run. We ran that Halls of Infusion, got a Vortex Pinnacle 21. I dropped it to 20. We started that run, and it was amazing. We were waiting on a Shadow Priest for quite a bit, but we ended up just settling for a Red Paladin. It's not like they really are interchangeable. The reason we wanted a Shadow Priest, obviously, was because of the burst thing. But we said, fuck it. We're not going to wait the whole night just to do it with a Shadow Priest, and we ended up zug-zugging our way through that. There was one time where we got scared a little bit, and that was on these guys, the Turbulent Squalls, because there's 8 of them, and then I added these 2 in the pool. That definitely didn't help things. I think we got to a point where we had 6 stacks left once everything died. One more thing that I guess I could have improved in the run was basically to rethink my Bloodlust usage. I asked the Evoker to use it on this pull here, number 4, because I'm very scared of the double Gust Soldier into double Wild Vortex. That's because I'm used to groups not kicking and not CCing the casters. This group did not have that problem, so what we probably should have done was Bloodlust the first one, Bloodlust pull number 8 most likely, if not 8 then the Dragon, and then Bloodlust again on pull 16. I have to think a bit about this, but I think the idea is to get a Bloodlust on pull 16. Otherwise, you just use it on the boss, which is also fair, to be completely honest. I think most of these mobs never reached the ground. The Evoker was basically juggling them. He kept knocking them up with his racial, then knocking them back with his racial, then knocking them up with upheaval, then stunning them with his breath. It was ridiculous. I never had to use any CC. I had nothing to kick. Everyone was kicking everything. It was just a great group. I mean, it was a really fun run. From completing it, we got a 21 Neltharion's Lair. I've already dropped it down to a 20. What we want to do now is actually join somebody's group for one of the 4 dungeons that we don't have timed on a 20 yet. And then we're going to re-roll this and hopefully we get something that we haven't timed on a 20. So in the next episode, we're going to be joining somebody's group and hoping for the best. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.